Good morning, everyone. My name is Swetha. I work for Walmart last 10 years, and mainly I'm working on QA side, validating the couple of we have various enterprise reports in Walmart. So we used to validate the reports whether the data is accurate and the visuals are displaying correctly or not. That's like a major role I'm doing. I'm going to represent the role of Power BI in enterprise reporting. First, we'll start with introduction. Yeah, in today's data-driven enterprise landscape, decision makers demand more than just data. They require clarity, context, and confidence. So Microsoft Power BI has become a cornerstone of business intelligence, offering interactive dashboards and seamless data integration. So this presentation explores how testers contribute Power BI implementations, like from validating ETL pipelines to automating regression checks and performance analysis. It offers a practical tester-centric framework to enhance reporting reliability and support strategic business decisions. The Power BI adoption is growing across industries due to its scalability and affordability. The complexity of modern data ecosystems demands deeper validation at every layer. Testers now play a strategic role in delivering trusted reports, not just checking for the bugs. This presentation bridges the gap between QA practices and Power BI reporting processes. Attendees will gain actionable insights into data quality assurance and Power BI report environments. So I'll give quick glance like why we are doing this Power BI, because why we are validating Power BI reports. Uh, the reports which we build was the financial reports, and this will goes to all the CTOs, VPs, and everywhere high leadership. And if they wanted to represent the numbers, those numbers should be like accurate, and in the stakeholder meetings also they'll use these reports. That's why we need to be very careful while validating these reports and whether the data is accurate or not. Then we'll go with the overview. This presentation provides a comprehensive look at evolving role of testers in enterprising reporting with focus on Microsoft Power BI. As organizations increasingly rely on real-time dashboards to inform strategic decisions, the importance of accurate, performant, and user-friendly reports has never been greater. Beyond visual design, Power BI implementations demand rigorous validations across data pipelines, business logic, and interactive elements. Through a tester-centric lens, we explore practical methodologies for data validation, performance testing, automation strategies, and DevOps integration, highlighting how quality assurance professionals contribute significantly to reliability, scalability, and credibility of business intelligence systems. So we have different roles. People will be there, like different cost centers, different store managers, everyone will be there using these reports. So we need to make sure like how we are testing with different store level access, different cost center level access. So those will come under like RLS level testing. So that also like we need to be test like during testing phase. And next one is challenges in enterprise reporting. So we have Walmart, like it's like a number one like data system. They have like huge numbers of like data. All the things, so complex and multi-source data integration, inconsistent KPIs and business logic across reports, delays in data refresh and real-time availability, insufficient testing of visual interactions, like example drill downs and slicers in Power BI reports, and weak data lineage and traceability, manual QA processes and limited automation, low confidence in data accuracy among stakeholders, demand for personalized mobile friendly dashboards. Then the problem statement, modern BI tools like Power BI supports highly interactive real-time dashboards, but traditional testing methods have not kept up. So testers are often involved too late, missing the chance to shape report quality from the ground up. Without standardized framework, key features like drill throughs, DAX logic, and visual interactivity often go untested, leading to critical defects after post deployment. So, testing often begins after report creation, not during design. Manual methods miss interactive elements like slicers and bookmarks. Many defects are caught by end users, reducing confidence. Lack of standardized QA practices for data, visual, and performance leads to rework, release delays, and inconsistent report quality. So the main challenges we are seeing is these are the financial reports. They have like fixed deadlines. Like for example, if the fiscal year starts on January, so all the data should be ready and all the reports should be by Jan. And even some reports like monthly and quarterly reports and year-end reports. So we have like fixed deadlines and we need to make sure are we delivering and testing all the reports without any issues. That's the challenging part with financial reports. The next is motivation. Accurate reports drive critical business decisions. Testers validate data logic, KPIs, and visual accuracy. KPIs means like the major components of the Power BI report. For example, if you are checking, for example, the sales data, make sure the sales data is like versus LY, versus plan, versus forecast data is accurately coming. That kind of that we call it as like KPIs. And visual accuracy means like whenever we are changing the slicers on the Power BI report, make sure the slicers are changing and the visuals are interacting based on the slicer. And QA is evolving from bug finding to strategic collaboration. Early involvement of testers reduce rework and deployment delays. Validated reports improve governance, trust, and compliance. And we usually like use like DAX Studio and Tableau Edit to support like different testing workflows. And next one is evaluation of reporting tools. So initially in 90s we used to have like ERP reporting. Then in 2000 like Cognos, MicroStrategy, Business Objects, and 2010 we like Tableau, Quill, and Looker. In 20s now everyone is using most of the companies are using Power BI, cloud native, and embedded BI. Now like with Microsoft they have introduced Copilot. So in coming days like most of the people are going to use Copilot. The next one is Power BI for testers. So we need to validate full stack validation, which means like enable QA to test across data layers, model logic, and visuals. Because here the in Power BI, like the representation is one thing, and the main thing is the data. Whether whatever we are representing the data, we need to make sure the data is coming accurately from the source systems. And for integration testing tools, like we use DAX Studio, Tableau Editor, Performance Analyzer, and REST APIs, the Microsoft Power BI REST, Microsoft APIs. And version control support, we can integrate with GitHub and Power BI project improves the traceability. Like a couple of people are working on the same report. We need to make sure like if we use GitHub and Power BI project, it will we can easily track it. I mean, we have like different tabs in Power BI. Usually one tab will assign to one developer and another tab assigned to another developers. So we need to make sure like all are aligned. Multiple deployment options like Power BI service, embedded, and report builder accommodate varied QA environments. And data connectivity checks varies on premises and cloud data via gateways and refresh diagnostics. And security and access level testing, this is the one which I mentioned earlier. We have like role level security, especially for the corporate reports. We used to have different roles across the stores, across the cost centers. We need to make sure we tested across all the roles and that we can testable and automatable. And support CI/CD pipeline enables testing in DevOps workforce for continuous validation. And the next one is testing methodology overview. Power BI's layered architecture spanning data ingestion, business modeling, and rich visualizations. requires a testing methodology that ensures accuracy at every stage, from validating ETL logic to verifying DAX-based calculations and visual behavior. Testers play a vital role in delivering high-trust, user-centric dashboards. This layered approach aligns QA with business intelligence development lifecycle for maximum impact. So there are like three-tier architecture. First one is data, the source validation, whether the data is coming from the source is validate the data, ETL logic and refresh accuracy, and model layer like business logic and DAX validation and data relationships, and visualization layer, check the chart accuracy, filters, slicers, tooltips, and drill throughs. So these are the major things we need to validate while validating the Power BI reports. And the tools assisted are like DAX Studio, Tabular Editor, Power BI Performance Analyzer, and Power Query Diagnostics. Traceability and coverage, linking metrics to visuals using test metrics and validation scripts. Continuous QA loop, like early testing, accelerate delivery and reduces defect leakage. End-to-end assurance like include RLS, dataset refreshes, and parameter testing for complete coverage. So here, like we need to make sure testing with all the RLS roles and testing the data is refreshing. Because, for example, daily reports, make sure they are refreshing based on the SLA time, like 4:30, 5:30, so that the executive levels they can see the data like once they woke up. So these are the things we need to cover in end-to-end assurance. And the next one is ETL validation checkpoints. So source system, it will be like SQL or SAP or APS depending on the company. And staging area like initial record validation. In transformation, like we'll have like the main business logic and the merges and filters. In model, we have DAX measures and hierarchies. And reports, visuals, filters, and slicers. In source to staging validation, verify record counts, data types, null handling, and primary key integrity across source system like SQL, SAP, and APIs. Transformation logic testing, Power Query ensures filters, merges, calculated columns, and business rules behave as intended. The data refresh monitoring, this is like just I have mentioned, like it's based on the SLA, like verify the scheduled and manual refresh in Power BI service using refresh logs and incremental refresh logic, test range, start and range, end parameters, simulate edge cases and historical reloads. Data consistency checks, compare transform data with raw source outputs using SQL script or Python based validation tools. Data profiling and null analysis, identify anomalies or outliers using column profiling in Power Query, and external tools like Excel and Pandas. And report level testing, mainly we need to validate the visual accuracy and filter and slicer testing and drill through and drill down functionality. Visual accuracy, like just validate the charts, tables, and the KPI display correct aggregated values, ensure visual align with DAX measures and business definitions. In filter and slicer testing, test all the combinations of filters and slices for expected cascading behavior and check for anomalies using the tabular data view behind visuals. And in drill through and drill down functionality, confirm correct filter context is passed during drill through actions, validate multi-level drill down paths and back navigation. And next one is like the visual accuracy charts, KPIs, and totals, filter testing, the slicers and cross filtering, drill through context validation and back navigation, conditional formatting like color rules, tooltips, accessibility, all text and screen readers. Conditional formatting and tooltips, verify logic behind color coding and highlight threshold, ensure tooltips show relevant and contextual data without clutter. So basically, like for example, if you get the profits, just we need to show like green, and if you have negative, which is loss to the company, just we need to represent in different color, which is red. So usually, basically, we'll use these kind of colors in Power BI reports. for positive and negative numbers. And accessibility testing, test with screen readers, keyboard navigation, and high contrast themes. Check all alt text and naming conventions for visual elements. Automation in Power BI testing. Automating Power BI testing streamlines the validation of complex dashboards, ensures data accuracy, and reduces human error by integrating tools like DAX Studio, REST APIs, and snapshot comparison frameworks. QA teams can deliver more reliable reports at scale. With CI/CD integration, automated testing enables early detection and defects in report logic, data sources, and refresh operations. This shift left approach enhances quality, reduces rework, and accelerates deployment cycles. The next one is DAX logic validation using tools like DAX Studio and tabular edits. Snapshot testing to detect visual regression across report versions. Automated data reconciliation between source systems and the Power BI reports. Paginated report checks to ensure formatting, layout, and parameter accuracy. REST API automation for refreshing datasets and auditing deployments. CI/CD pipeline integration with tools like Azure DevOps and Jenkins for continuous testing. And the next one is integration testing focus. So Power BI often operates as the final presentation layer in a larger analytics ecosystem that includes data warehouses, semantic models, APIs, and embedded platforms. The integration testing ensures seamless connectivity, accurate data flow, and functional consistency across these interconnected systems, making it vital and high stakes enterprise reporting. So, the gateway and connectivity testing validate on premise and cloud source connections via Power BI gateways, and data flow validation test independent refreshes, data lineage, and transformation integrity. Here, the basic high level flow was mentioned like data sources, then ETL layer, data flows, and semantic model, the Power BI reports, and the consumers, the users, which is using the report. And the next one is parameter and filter logic testing. Check all the parameterized reports behave correctly across all the environments. And row level security RLS simulate different user roles and active directory groups to verify access control. And embedded report testing validate token based access, responsiveness, and cross platform rendering in portals. Portals means basically whatever the data we are showing in Power BI reports, right? Directly we can see it in React Native application using APIs, the Microsoft APIs. So nowadays, what they are doing is they are building the applications on mobile or web. Instead of going to Power BI reports, the users directly access the reports from their mobile. Like if they log in early, if they wanted to access the reports early hours, they directly log into the mobile application and they can check the reports. Upstream, downstream consistency ensure that ETL pipelines and the semantic models and Power BI reports stay synchronized. The case walkthrough, the KPI validation, compare total revenue with SQL output. So whatever the data we are showing on the portal, just we need to make sure this with SQL also whatever the data we are getting from SQL, same data we are showing it on the report. So verified DAX logic for financial metrics and filter functionality tested combinations of slicers like regional product category ensures the cross filtering behavior aligned with expectations. And the next one is a drill through testing, validate context parsing and page formatting, and performance testing, user performance analyzer and visual load. So this performance testing basically like couple of reports in Walmart enterprise side, there are like so many users are there across like 10,000 users will access the data across different stores and different regions. So we need to make sure like whenever the report is refreshed, when the users are accessing, make sure like test the performance of the report by using DAX Studio and verify how much time is taking time, and if we have any improvements, we can make those changes. And RLS simulation test access by roles and regional specific values. I have mentioned earlier, like cost center level, regional level, market level, different roles will be there, and based on that, we can validate these RLS simulation. For example, for international reports, we have different markets. Make sure that the users are accessing the specific market which they are belonging to. The drill through testing check that drill through navigation, passed correct filter context, validated formatting and user experience on detailed pages. Performance monitoring analyzed visual load times using Power BI Performance Analyzer, identifies slower queries for optimization. Role-based security, simulated login for different user roles, verified region-specific data visibility and restrictions. And this is the like different defect distribution in Power BI reports. Like we can see these metrics like defect detection rate, defect distribution, time for the resolution, user satisfaction improvement, and regression pass rate. And these are like some of the defect trends like in Power BI reports, like predominantly like major issues which we originate from the data layer, and including issues with aggregation, joins, and refresh cycles. And in report level, basically we'll see like drill through failures, DAX miscalculations, and common. And often we'll also see some visual interactions are not used to work. So early validation of both layers help reduce recurring errors and enhance report reliability. So these are the defect trends across report and data layers. And the performance and usability issues, slow visual load times due to heavy DAX or queries, overloaded data sets with unused columns and tables, inefficient data flows, increasing refresh failures, long query chains causing timeouts and delays. And the usability issues are like ambiguous filters and slicers confuse users, layouts not optimized for mobile or embedded views, tooltips cluttered with irrelevant or excess info, inconsistent formatting, and unclear visual cues. So these are the performance and usability issues. And the next one is the DevOps collaboration. Integrating QA into DevOps workflows enables continuous validation of Power BI report across development, staging, and production. Through version control, automated refresh checks, and environment specific testing, this approach ensures fast releases with fewer post deployment errors. CI/CD integration, multi environment testing like Dev, QA, and prod, version control via Power BI, IP, and Git, and environment specific configs, shift left QA culture. And the next one is lessons learned. Power BI testing goes beyond bug detection. It's about ensuring trust in every business decision powered by data. Lessons from real world projects show that early QA involvement, focusing on data validation, and automation of QA checkpoints significantly improve the report reliability, performance, and user confidence. Early test involvement like drives quality, clear documentation improves testing, automate wherever it adds value, focus on data, not just display. Performance testing is often overlooked, and collaboration across roles is critical. And the conclusion for this presentation, testers play a critical role in the Power BI reporting lifecycle, ensuring data integrity, visual accuracy, and performance reliability. By embedding QA practices across data pipelines, semantic models, and interactive dashboards, organizations can deliver reports that are not only insightful but also trustworthy and scalable. A proactive collaborative approach to testing transforms Power BI from a visualization tool into strategic asset for data-driven decision making. As Power BI continues to expand across organizations, the focus of testing must shift from isolated checks to embedded quality enablement. Automation, collaboration, early engagement in the development cycle are not optional. They are foundational to delivering impactful and trusted analytics. Reliable data leads to confident decisions, whether it's verifying ETL pipelines, validating DAX expressions, or simulating user interactions. Consistent testing ensures that every metric on the dashboard reflects reality and empowers user to act with clarity and speed. And thank you, everyone.